Hello and welcome back to Spirit Mom. Today at Spirit School, we're going to be having round 2 with the ego. Before we dive into the ego though and all its many difficulties, I want to ask you to reflect on all the commercials you have seen lately. And in our modern TV world, maybe you're not actually seeing as many commercials that are out there. So think, anytime you happen to have caught a commercial, what was it? I don't know about you, but I have noticed a large number of ones glorifying alcohol. I'm classy because I drink this brand. They try to encourage us through lifestyle, saying, don't you want to have fun with your friends? But what they're really doing is just trying to sell their product. But what they don't realize and what our society doesn't realize is their product is not good for us. How mainstream music talks about popping bottles or pouring back a cold one. Drinking is so ingrained into our society. If you don't drink, you're either an ex-alcoholic or a religious zealot. It's baffling. This is not a substance that's good for us. It's not a substance that's good for our development, yet it is pushed on us hardcore. We need to change this. Instead of relying on your spirit coming from a bottle, your spirit needs to come from the inside. Deep in here is a well of all the spirit you're going to need. The chakra system is an energy system. If you practice your meditations and yoga enough, as well as steer towards a more healthier lifestyle, you can receive a high from the source itself. I've quoted this before and I'm going to quote it again. Eckhart Tolle says to get to the spirit, we can either go under the ego with drugs and alcohol or over it with prayer and meditation by being in the now. I, for one, choose to go over it. However, besides simply going over it, I have also found it's possible to reshape your ego, making it easier to just be with it. The ego loves to be the best, right? So why not steer it towards trying to be the best spiritually? It is always going to want to be right, but when you take your life fuel from your soul and not your mind, then you will begin to have a less ego-dominated life. So instead of letting your brain chatter, struggle for everything like you're walking through thick mud, instead let your inside spirit tickle. That tickle you'll get to know point you in the right way of the decisions you should make. Some people say they hear words from their soul, but I don't. I feel like a pull towards the correct path. It's like taking our vibrational words and weighing them. It's like the same thing. I can be halfway through a plan and still not know why I'm really doing it, but it feels right. Our conscious minds don't have to be in on the plan. Our job simply is to be the best us we can be. How do we do this? By simmering down the ego and digging out that shadow so our automatic responses become helpful ones. The goal should not be not just to drink, but you don't even need to, you don't even want to. You're satisfied and happy with this you. When you're stressed, you don't freak out. You can quickly find the closest piece of earth you can and take off your shoes and stand on it or sit in it if it's possible, because that will take that hectic energy and it's the quickest way to level it out in a healthy way. Instead of going out for that smoke break, lean on that divine spark inside and connect as often as possible. So even if you can't find earth, you just find that internal place you find while meditating, and it gives you that that the smoke used to, and you just connect in. By steering your life more into a place of balance, by taking over control of yourself, you will start to see the real you. The you that is you without all the bells and whistles. Too often people get caught up in the this and the that of life, and they never sit in the stillness of who they really are. That is the whole you that is beyond the ego, that true quiet self inside. This mindset might be quiet, but it is that self that's beyond the human form, something we can't even really fathom, but we can connect to it. We are never going to fully understand the divine plan. If we want an extraordinary life, though, we need to trust that higher self, that our egoic form just will not get us there. Once we get to a more stable feeling of ourself, we will start to see everything and everyone around us more clearly. A person we thought was our friend will begin to be unveiled through no change of their own as a narcissist that doesn't even really value us. Where another person we perhaps didn't value at all, we'll see was a more true friend. Perhaps we'll see that we need to take a step back from all outside influences and have no friends to reflect on the inside. If you have a partner or children, it doesn't mean leaving them. It does, however, though, mean going to that quieter place inside more often. So if they are stuck in old arguing patterns, let them continue on and just nod silently. Internally reflect out peace to them. Try to shh your own ego's need to have snappy comebacks, because you will start to see the truth behind the interaction. Often the fights we end up having are not for the reasons our egos make us think. Often it's just their ego wanting to win with no real soul behind it at all. After having these realizations with these places we have inside us, having silent practices of reflection, of testing the waters socially, you will begin to feel interactions as more authentic and less of an ego dance. Once you get to a place of peace, you won't want to just talk to talk. You won't need to look good just to look good. You can be quiet, more humble, and most importantly, a more authentic form of yourself. All this comes about by catching our ego's need for flaunting and actively shushing it. Tomorrow we're going to discuss how everybody's reality is drastically different. This is a weird concept and flows in with the ego because everybody's ego needs that dominance. So for most of the people running around the world coming from their egoic selves, everybody's story is going to be different because everybody's ego is going to be, I'm the winner, I'm the best, they're the bad ones. But we'll talk more about that tomorrow. Good luck, people. Be true to the real you. You will find them. Goodbye for now, Spirit Mom.